We read in the first epistle of John that God is love. And I'd like to explain a little bit of what I understand about that. So, love can be defined on how much you're willing to suffer for the benefit of someone else, especially if they hate you for it. And think about Jesus and what he did and how much he was hated for what he did. And it was for the benefit of the people who hated him. And so the ultimate example of love was given by Jesus. Now, I'd like to explain this a little bit in a story about my children. Now, I have several children. I have a teenage son who's been bickering with his younger sister. And one habit he's fallen into is calling her names. And this is a behavior I really want eliminated from my house. And so last week I told him, hey, the next time I hear you call your sister this name, this certain name, you're going to have 10 times the consequence that I usually give out for breaking the family rule. And the consequence we usually give out is an extra job. Maybe 15 minutes of cleaning baseboards or something. And we've got a system worked out where it's just automatic, and they know what it is. And anyway, so I told him 10 times the consequence if you do it again. So lo and behold, about 5 days later, I hear him mumble his name to his sister under his breath. And he didn't want me to hear it, but he definitely wanted her to hear it. And so I told him, hey, you got it. When we get home, you're getting 9 or 10 times the consequence. And he rolled his eyes and he hoped I'd forget. And I did forget until the next day. While I was doing something, I remembered, hey, you've got to dole out this consequence. And I really didn't want to do it. Life is so much more smooth when I can just be buddies with my son, when we can, do stuff together and be friends. But the thought crossed my mind, if I don't correct him on this, nobody will. There's nobody else in the world who will correct him on this. And he will never be corrected. He will never improve. And then the other thought that came to my mind was if I don't follow through on this consequence, which is extreme, he will learn that his dad is just wishy-washy, and he will not have like the firm boundaries when I tell him, hey, if when I say something, he won't know whether to believe me. And so all around, if I didn't follow through, it would just be a net negative for our family. So I followed my conscience, and a few minutes later, I dished out the consequence. And he lost his mind. He was extremely upset with me because he's got to do 2 or 3 extra hours of work now before he can earn back some privileges that he usually has. Now, this is a great example to me about God's love.